Hello everyone. In this final tutorial for educators, I would like to discuss a bit how you can go about comparing student performance and overall class performance between two separate exams, between any two exams that your class has taken. So this is going to be under my educator dashboard. I'm going to click on my overview tab and I'm going to select a class. So let's stick with our February 2017 class. And let's say I want to compare performance between College Board Test 1 that's already up here. And let's say I want to compare to College Board Test 2. Let that refresh. Great. So now what we see is a picture of everyone's scores on College Board tests 1 and 2. And obviously, some students haven't taken test 1 or they haven't taken test 2 for whatever reason. And this is another way to kind of monitor who's maybe missing what assignments. But for the most part, most of the students here have completed both. So what it allows you to do is not only see their comparison and the difference between their scores, but also how their scores change from section to section. So, for example, this first student here had an overall score increase of 180 points, and you can see exactly where the improvement was in English and exactly where the improvement was in math. Some students did not improve. Some students' scores worsened. So you can see the score decrease. And then you can also see specifically where that concern happened. So, for example, this um, student, you could see as an educator that their English score remained the same, but that their math score went from 460 to a 410. So that would be another area of focus that you could bring up with your student and maybe go over some of the math questions in College Board Test 2 to figure out maybe why their score went down. And as you see at the bottom, um, the software also tabulates overall mean scores, so the average English, math, and total score for College Board Test 1, and then the same scores for Test 2, and then the average improvement as a class. So not only is this a good and very powerful feature to be able to get average class diagnostics and compare class performance relatively between one test and the next, but it's also a great way to pinpoint individual students' tendencies. So, let's say a student has been steadily progressing and their math score has been steadily increasing, maybe 10 points each test. This is a great tool to be able to identify that. Similarly, if a student's score has been maybe um, regressing, maybe decreasing by 10 points each week, this is also a great way to be able to pinpoint those certain concerns or difficulties and raise them with your students too. And it's done in obviously a very simple, easy to understand format, which if one had to generate these numbers on his or her own using a traditional paper pencil format, again, as we've mentioned before, the process would be very time consuming and would detract from your time as an educator to actually devote to your students.